Greetings, I'm JD. I'm a yoga student, a yoga teacher, and a spiritual being in recovery from addiction to alcohol and drugs. I found my path to sobriety in a mixture of yoga classes and the 12-step rooms. I believe that when we're trapped in addiction, we lose our connection to our true self. We're taken down a path that creates a false self. The Rediscovery Program is a mixture of Yogic Philosophy, Buddhism, Kundalini Yoga, and the 12 steps. The program itself is a mixture of meditation, physical yoga practice, online meetings and workshops, and self-inquiry exercises. If you're new to meditation, if you think you're not physically fit enough to do yoga, that's okay. That's part of the program. You can literally do it from a chair. If you're new to recovery, if you're struggling in that chronic cycle of relapse, or if you just can't find any joy in your recovery, please, I invite you, join the program. I believe that we can share the tools necessary to have a fulfilled life in abstinence. I look forward to meeting you. Peace. So what I'd like to take a look at tonight, and depending on where you are in your recovery, maybe some of this work you've already done, and I'd like you to retake a look at it wherever you are. That understanding the difference between admitting and accepting. But that goes through for our whole life, and on a yogic path we have to accept everything that has come in the past to get to moving forward. And you can't make a change until you accept where you are to move forward and to make a change. Accepting where we are, accepting what has happened to be our starting point for this evening. We're going to do some work and some meditation on that. Acceptance is accepting everything as it is, the way it is. There's no judgment, there's no right, there's no wrong. It just is. And it's a very challenging place to be in, especially with the bombardment that we have nowadays. Everything is so polarized, everything is so judgmental. But to sit in a place that it is the way it is, but it is that way. And from that place, we can change that. I am an addict and an alcoholic, and I know that that is the way I am. But that's me in this human body. Right? That's not this soul. I'm a spiritual being recovered from addiction to alcohol and drugs. I think is do the best you can, and just know that that's the best you can do. And don't judge it. Don't judge it by your standard, anybody else's standard, and just do the best you can. Make whatever adjustments that you can. If it's, there'll be movement, posture, breath, and mantra. Try not to attach any religious meanings to it. Okay? It's just another path. So I think that for me, and it's been really important, and why one of the main callings for me in these teachings is because in the rooms and people in recovery, and me really believing the 12 steps are a really fantastic tool, is how many people are challenged by the G word. You know, how many people are really challenged by God, the concept, the word. And that all comes, I believe, out of, again, the childhood, the upbringing, what you were told. It was put upon, as opposed to, my spiritual path, which I discovered. And I think that's the difference of a spiritual path and a religious path, is when you can discover it. Now, if you have a serious faith of your own, please embrace that, and don't let anything I say. I don't have a problem with religion, but I want to give people who have a problem with religion an option to a spiritual path. anybody wants a chair at any point, we can get a chair. Everything we're doing this weekend can be done in a chair. Step one, as it were. When you perspective, we admitted we were powerless over our addiction. Our lives had become unmanageable. So, a number of things that I like to say with this step, the difference for me from admitting to accepting was a huge leap. I can admit it. Did I ever accept it? And somebody said to me, it's not your fault. It's a disease. Now, it's easy to talk that way, more so about substance addictions, because still for the majority of the medical community, substance addictions can be related as a disease much more than non-drug and alcohol related. There's sex, relationships, gambling. But these things fire the brain up the same way. So really it comes down to the same thing. This set is mentally challenging, but you're going to think of it as physically challenging. Right? That's the trick. You're going to think it's physically challenging, it's actually mentally challenging. Because what we're about to do isn't that hard. Right? Just sit with it. The lizard brain starts to tell you you can't go on any longer. Question the lizard brain. The lizard brain is trying to protect you. There's nothing to protect you against. This will cause no permanent damage. The mind's gonna always wander. The practice is not to attach to whatever is on. And then as soon as you realize that it's wandering, come back to the focus, come back to the breath, come back to the posture. And never with judgment on your inability to stay focused. It's gonna happen.